Okay, so the first thing to just double check is that all your filters and everything are just on tight, which they will be. Once you've given the paint a really good shake, the reason you have to do that with ready to use paints is so that you make sure that all of the air is out of the liquid before you start pumping it through the pump. So once you've given your paint a really good shake, you obviously put it into the holder here, and this machine can be used with a 25 litre tank that you can tip concentrate paint into, or just through the ready to use. So for direct or Ecoline Plus, that's what we're doing in today's exercise. Once the paint is in place and your probes, both probes are into the paint, you flick the tap here to the up position and flick the switch on and leave the machine. And I would normally do this for between 30 and 45 seconds. That will recycle the paint out of this tube, down into the pump, and back in through this tube into the tub, and that will make sure that there's no air in the system that can get caught up in the pump and cause you any issues as you start marking. After the 30 to 45 seconds of the paint recycling back into the tub, what we want to do now is make sure that the paint is coming from the pump to the spray head rather than recycling back into the tub. So you flick the switch off at the top here, you flick your tap to the down position, and at this point, when setting the nozzle height, it's absolutely critical that you get it perfect to make sure that the paint performs to its optimum potential. To set your nozzle height, you put one hand on the switch, one hand on the spray head, hold the nozzle close to the floor, flick the switch on, and you'll see paint is coming out. You then lift up slowly, which will make the line wider and wider. You can use these numbers as a gauge, but just remember that every nozzle comes out at a different angle with different paints. If the nozzle is too high, you'll end up with tram lining, where you end up with too much paint on the discs. It then drips down the discs and creates too much paint on the outsides of the line. If it's too narrow, you won't get a really nice crisp edge on your line. As you can see, when your nozzle height is too low, then you don't get crisp edges. As you're moving along the line now, you can see the nozzle height is too high, and this just basically means that you're not getting a really crisp edge, and there's a lot of paint going on the disc and not so much in the middle of the line. And as you get down towards this end, you can see that the line is much crisper on the edges, but you've got perfect distribution of the paint across the line.